So today we're talking about multiplying fractions and multiplying mixed numbers. The rules for multiplying fractions and mixed numbers are different than the rules for adding and subtracting. You don't need a common denominator. You don't need to make equivalent fractions. So when we're multiplying a fraction by a fraction, the simple rule is you multiply the numerator by the numerator. So we say 3 times 2 equals 6. And then you multiply the denominator by the denominator. 4 times 3 equals 12. The only tricky part with this is that you have to reduce the fractions. And we should know that 6/12 reduces to 1/2. Your answer always has to be in lowest terms, and it always has to be a proper fraction. So another one, if I have 5/8 times 1/2. The rule is you multiply numerator times numerator. 5 times 1 is 5. Denominator times denominator. 8 times 2 is 16. 5 over 16 can't be reduced. It's already a proper fraction, so it's in lowest terms. There is a trick though with this called cross-reducing. You can look at your fractions and see if you can reduce it beforehand. For example, if I had 8/9 times 1/4. It's still an easy fraction to multiply, but when we get to bigger fractions, this is always a little trick. You look at opposite corners. So here I have 8 and 4. I think, is there any number that can divide evenly into both 8 and 4? And I think yes, I can divide them both by 4. So I say 8 divided by 4 is 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now I'm going to multiply this new number, 2 times 1, and I get 2. And for my denominator, 9 times 1 is 9. The advantage of cross-reducing before you multiply is that 1, I don't have to reduce my answer now, and 2, if you're working with bigger numbers, it makes them smaller for when you're multiplying. Usually we see that works better with mixed numbers. So now we're going to look at a mixed number. So say 3 1/4 times 2 3/4. When you're multiplying mixed numbers, you do not multiply the whole numbers, then multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators. You need to turn both of them into improper fractions first. So we say 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 4, times 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11 over 4. Do a quick check. There's no number that will go into both 13 and 4, and there's no number that will go into both 11 and 4, so we can't cross-reduce these two. So now we just multiply. Numerator times numerator. 13 times 11 is 143. 4 times 4 is 16. It's an improper fraction, so we have to reduce it. We know that 143 divided by 16 gives us 8 whole groups. 16 times 8 is 128. Subtract it from 143, and we get 15 over 16. So 3 1/4 times 2 3/4 equals 8 and 15 over 16. Here's another mixed number one that I think we can cross-reduce with. So first thing we look, they're both mixed numbers, so we need to change them both to improper fractions first. So we say 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21 over 4, times 2 times 9 is 18, 18 plus 4 is 22 over 9. Now we'll look at the cross-reducing. So we look at opposite numerator and denominator and think, what number can go into both 21 and 9? 3. 21 divided by 3 equals 7. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Opposite corners, what goes into both 4 and 22? You should think 2 probably. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11. So now, instead of multiplying 21 by 22, big numbers, need to use a calculator, we can just, after we reduce it, say 7 times 11 is 77. 2 times 3 is 6. Still need to change our improper fraction back into a mixed number. If we have 77, we can make 12 groups of 6. 12 sixes are 72. Subtract that from 77, and we get 5 over 6. So with the cross-reducing, not only are we working with smaller numbers when we're multiplying, we don't have to reduce our answer in the end. So that's a quick little reminder on how to multiply fractions and mixed numbers.